Clark Atlanta University, the Review Live Show. Please welcome our hosts, Sarah and Ella Starr.
Welcome back to the Review. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Ella, and today we have an episode for the music lovers and the movie lovers.
Yep, we're talking about movie soundtracks, from Shrek to Alvin and the Chipmunks. We're going to be seeing what movie has the best soundtrack today.
I think we should just get straight into it. We have tons to cover, so stay tuned, because this is the review.
Next on the review.
I'm a baby that goes to sleep to bubble guppies.
Follow my
Hit my good points!
On that camera.
Everyone that was in the writer's room for the movies that are coming out right now, we're in a horror movie mood because there's been so many horror releases. Now, it's the start of the show. Don't.
I'll scare you.
Don't. Let's not go there. Let's not do that.
Right, let's not.
Like I was saying, there's been so many horror movie releases, and there'll be so much to come throughout the year. For starters, Final Destination's Bloodlines is coming out, and that trailer was a little terrifying.
It actually really was.
What do you mean you knocked the glass over into the... I kid you not, I have not had ice since. I'm being so for real.
What?
I have not had ice since the Final Destination trailer.
I only saw the part with the septum, and that was really... I don't even know how that happened. Basically,
I haven't seen that
He
one.
was in a tattoo shop, and he had a septum, and he was like getting ready for the next guest or whatever, and then somehow, I think he was turning on the ceiling fan, and then the ceiling fan got cut in his septum, and then he also had a candle burning, and he like knocked it over, and then he's like grabbing things, so it's like, because as the ceiling fan is like tying the chain, so it's like he's getting, and then so he's like getting on top of the table, and he's doing that, and then eventually, when he can't get up any further, bam, he falls, and it rips his nose, and also the floor is on fire. So he didn't die from the septum, he died from the fire. But
Why do y'all want to watch this?
I don't want to watch that. That's a Jackie thing. Producer Jackie is insane.
I'm actually not a fan of producer Jackie for forcing me
At all.
to watch these horror movies. I am not a fan, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm a baby that goes to sleep to bubble guppies. What are y'all gonna do about it?
And something you'll hate even more is that we're gonna see a movie called... Another horror movie release we're gonna see is called Bring Her Back. It's produced by A24, for the makers of Talk to Me, which I did not see. I heard was decent, but I'm also not I'm not the biggest fan of horror, but I'm not like fully against it.
I think my line
But Jackie's gonna force me to go. Apparently,
I think my
That's what it
line
says
was
in the
gonna be
poster.
Opius, but with Iowa Debris, and then Opus.
I don't know if that was horror per se.
It was definitely creepy.
Yeah, it was creepy. It was.
Yeah, that was gonna be my line, and then what did I see instead? Oh, I saw Captain America instead.
I still haven't seen Captain America. I'm very behind.
Actually,
I'm
it was
3
really good. I
Marvel
didn't hate
movies
it.
behind.
Okay.
I stopped watching because they weren't like as good.
I thought Captain America. I thought this was really good, actually.
I do want to see Captain America. I'll see it at some point. But speaking
Yeah.
of Captain America, another Marvel movie we're gonna see is Thunderbolts.
Super
that.
excited for
The
Thunderbolts.
marketing has been good.
The
so
marketing
far,
has been
so
great.
I'm interested.
I really need to know who voted Bucky as a congressman. And for context for the people who don't understand, within the Marvel universe, across all Marvel universes, there's only like 10 things that are consistent across every single Marvel universe. One of those 10 things is that Bucky Barnes kills JFK. And y'all
This
voted
is true.
that. I really want to know what the thought process was in the writer's room behind that. Like, that's my main motivation for seeing Thunderbolts. Because, like,
Probably gonna touch on that.
they probably are going to... Well, they did... Not to spoil it for you. They touched on it slightly in Brave New World. But it was weird because that Thunderbolts commercial came out before we got that scene in Brave New World, so we knew that he was a congressman. And so they touch on him campaigning in Brave New World, but they don't explain anything.
It's a lot of Jackie in this prompter. I'm reading it. I'm like, it's
Lots
messaging
of producer
like,
Jackie.
multiple times.
Which is hilarious because the note that we got literally 2 minutes ago was
Follow my prompter.
hit my script points.
Like, why am I saying? Nobody cares. Apparently, producer Jackie's only seen one Marvel movie. Who cares?
Like,
But that's in my prompter, and I got
producer
it.
Jackie can come over to the house and we can watch all the Marvel
This is
movies.
true. It is a
But
bit
she
true.
won't. You won't. You won't. We still can't get her to watch Hamilton. She won't.
Oh my God, we really can't. And that's a sin, much like Sinners, which is finally coming out. I'm excited for that. I'm a little scared, a little frightened, but the tickets are already booked. The tickets are already booked with my A-list membership. Apparently, I think that's a lie. I think producer Jackie actually hasn't gotten those tickets yet. But yeah, so just lying. Hit my point. Hit my prompter. Wrong.
That is
Just for
misinformation.
Just for that, I'm taking a stand. I'm taking a stand. But I do think the historic vampires is an interesting concept, and I'm excited to see what Ryan Coogler has to do for us. And Haley Steinfeld, I'm happy to see you employed, but also, why is there a white woman there?
You know what was the funniest thing that I've read on Twitter in the past 2 weeks?
No, I don't.
It's a picture of Haley Steinfeld and Michael B. Jordan doing press for this movie. And it said Michael B. Jordan and Shameik Moore are literally the examples that you see in your workplace compliance training videos on levels of flirting versus sexual harassment. I stared at that tweet for a whole 5 minutes.
On that camera.
A live action version of Lilo and Stitch is coming out, and I'm a little excited, a little conflicted. For comment, here's our guess, Stitch.
Oh, that was actually good. That was stupid. That was ridiculous. But yeah, we have Stitch. I'm not excited. I'm very scared, actually, because they de-ossified my Queen King.
Queen King is so correct, though. Yeah. Pleek? Pleeky?
Like, what do you mean there's no wig, there's no dress, there's no, like...
But on a whole
They
complete
took all the
sidebar,
fun away from everything, and Stitch looks crazy.
the actor that plays him looks like an alien.
Oh, well...
And, like, I don't know his name, but, like, if you guys saw him, you would know exactly who I'm talking about, and you would know where the first time you've seen him at.
Because I surely do not know
Because
who you're talking about.
he's, like, his face is so, like... Yeah.
Okay. Well, much like other things that are going to look crazy, How to Train Your Dragon was also teased at CinemaCon.
I'm actually really excited for
The
How to
live
Train Your
action.
Dragon. The live action, which isn't really live action. It's just a different form of
It's
animation.
just a different form of animation.
But I'm actually really, really excited for the things that they're doing with How to Train Your Dragon. I'm excited for the animation style that they chose. And the journalists actually have had nothing but good things to say about it, which it gives me hope because a journalist love to give a negative review on a movie. They could fully go in and like the movie, take their kids and be like, oh, this was wonderful. When they hit that desk, the worst thing that I've ever seen in my life, and I saw my mother die with her organs outside of her. Like, no one has said anything bad to say, so I'm super excited.
I just don't think it's going to be good.
I do.
But you know what might be... But you know what might be good? Wicked for good. I'm a little scared. I'm a little excited. I don't think it can be any... I think it's going to be on the same par as the first movie.
Will you leave Stitch alone?
No.
Just all up in his business. Like, oh my God. No, give him back.
Oh, I can't have anything fun. This is another instance of I have to take a stand. I have to take a stand. But yeah, producer Michael B. Jordan produced Him, which was also...
Michael Pele. Michael Peel.
Michael Peele! Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele.
Okay.
The newest movie from Jordan Peele was also teased. It was called Him.
Oh, the football with the Winan.
What? Yeah.
One of the Winan brothers is in it.
Yes! Along with that,
Yes.
we also had Megan 2.0.
Not
Black
excited.
Phone 2.
Not excited.
And another reboot American Psycho, which I'm scared because why is the man not even American? It's Jacob Elordi, right?
But I don't know. I think CinemaCon was a little disappointing, but granted, the last major things we got out of CinemaCon was like Sonic.
You finally found your family.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for Wicked. I'm excited for the blue dress. I'm excited for No Good Deed. I'm really excited for Cynthia's version of No Good Deed. Just because, like, that is the theater song for You've Got Me Messed Up.
It's true.
And Glinda had that girl messed up. And I need to
I'm
see
actually
it.
really excited to see part 2 because the last time I saw Wicked was on the stage, and it's been a long time, so I don't remember some of the specifics of Wicked. So it's like I know the story, I know what happens, but also there's enough that I forgot that I get to re-experience.
You want to know a funny story? The first time.
No, we don't have time for that.
Okay, well,
We do not have time for a funny
we don't have
story.
time for a funny story.
We don't.
I'll tell the audience in the break. Joke's on you.
We'll see you in the second segment. We're gonna rank our favorite soundtracks.
Yeah.
And see if you agree. In Abby Lee Miller fashion.
Yeah, so don't miss it, because this is the review. Coming next on the review. I love Black. See the fairy godmother dancing around in my head. Okay, we're gonna put the toy back in his box, because obviously Ken has had too much exposure today.
Today we have a fun little pyramid for you guys. Much like we had last episode, we brought it back. In true Abby Lee Miller fashion, we had to yell at some little kids before we did it. I think I already said that. That wasn't a funny joke. Whatever. Can only do so much.
You can only do so much, but this is also why we need to make a reboot with fully grown people. Enter
That would be funny.
Octavius Walker Jr. That's too far. Back it up, back it up, back it up. Back it up, back it up, back it
And
up.
you on a leash.
Back it up, back it up. Thank you.
But let's make our way over to the board, shall we?
Bored.
Now you can walk over.
Yeah, you on the other side.
Wonderful. Period. We love Black Kings who follow instructions.
This is the board.
Sarah loved to stand in front of me.
Because I want to be here, but you want to be here. So. Yeah, I like that. This is why I put my mic right here.
Showing all of our secrets, like,
But yeah, so this is our pyramid of the week, and we basically chose some of the cast and crew's favorite soundtracks,
yes.
and we put.
But
me and Ellie decided
yes.
what the orders were, and Octavius broke a couple ties.
yes, this is correct. Let's get into it. At the bottom of the pyramid.
At the bottom of the pyramid, you got it.
Number 6.
Okay.
Barbie.
This one hurt my soul a little
hurt
bit.
me too,
A
but
little bit. I literally
think-
just posted myself to Barbie this morning.
I think this is pretty accurate, y'all.
To some Charlie XCX. I
compared
will
to
say,
things.
you did. I was like,
yes. I will say though, Barbie is the only movie on this board that isn't a franchise movie.
That's true.
The
That's
rest
really
of
what
these
it was.
movies have been ranked by the soundtracks of the complete franchises.
That's true.
And I think the next pick is the only one that has 2 movies. Everything else has like 3 or 4
4
soundtracks.
movies.
okay,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I do want to make it known. I love the Barbie soundtrack.
The Barbie soundtrack was so
Like-
good.
I want to say the Charlie XCX song was good. The Pink Panther song is good. That's my queen. She just dropped today, actually. Go listen. But
Yes, I think Barbie was a really good
Oh, I'm
soundtrack,
just
a complete soundtrack.
Billie Eilish.
Yes, and I think it was a soundtrack that fully matched the movie.
Yeah,
That's
fully
true.
matched. the movie.
Absolutely.
I would say
Mark
that.
Ronson
That's true.
absolutely deserved the Grammy. He deserved the Oscar. Absolutely. So did Billy. I'm so sorry.
I agree.
I agree. Moving
All
on.
right, moving on to number 5.
I don't even remember what's here.
Black Panther.
Black Panther.
Okay, so
This was a very
This
controversial
was-
pick for
yeah,
us.
This was controversial for us. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
y'all.
I love Black
it's not that I don't love Black people or Black Panther. It's that the first, when you're comparing the rest of these
Yes,
franchises,
yes, yes.
the first album, amazing, fantastic,
Not team.
fantabulous.
Probably would have
If it
ended
was
up
just
at the
one,
top of
it
this
would be
list.
right here. But
Probably.
the second movie, I cannot really name a song.
Yes.
I
And it
can't
was
really
brought
name a
up that
song.
Lift Me Up was like the song of the movie. But like truth be told, without the emotional like feeling
story of the
of
movie.
losing
Yeah.
Chadwick Boseman. Like, I feel like Lift Me Up probably didn't hit for
I don't know what it
non-black
sounds like.
people
Yeah.
or
To be honest.
people who
I forgot.
like didn't know who Chadwick
So
Boseman
I feel
was.
like everybody listens to Kendrick Lamar. So it's like,
Yeah.
since he
This
did
is
that,
true. This
everybody
is
listens
true.
to
This was
Kendrick
also my comment when we were originally planning this out. I feel like Black Panther 1 could actively stand alone as a Kendrick album,
That's true.
which
Oh,
I
yes.
feel like does not make it the
'Cause,
greatest
like, there are hits, like
movie
King's
soundtrack.
Dead, All the Stars.
Yes, but Kendrick is known for doing a themed album.
This is
So
true.
like this really could
It
have
really
just
was
been
kinda just
a
Kendrick.
Northern California themed
Oh, that's true.
album.
I could have
yes.
absolutely. That's the one thing that I think Barbie did differently. Obviously, this is a much better album, but
Yes.
I could have very much listened to the Black Panther soundtrack and not known it was about Black Panther.
Absolutely.
But Barbie, like, it's obviously about Barbie.
It's about Barbie.
Like the story. I don't know. I love.
There's
this
a
album.
couple of songs where like you really can't separate, but
Oh,
again,
yeah, there's a couple songs.
that's because you know the characters. Like
That's
if
true.
if you were just listening, you would be like, oh, he made up another character. We're no longer talking about Lucy. Now we're talking about Killmonger. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's true.
All right, let's
Number
see what's
four.
up for.
Number 4. Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Honestly, y'all,
Our editor is shaking his head so bad right now.
like, I agree with
Lots
him
of thumbs
because
down.
I believe Alvin Chipmunks should be a little bit higher because
Okay.
banger after banger, every movie, every
But,
movie.
but, all of the bangers that we sat around this desk and remembered were not actual bangers from the film, but bangers that 20-year-old college kids back in the day put into voice mixers and bumped the octave, and now we remember those songs as Alvin and the Chipmunks songs.
And when I was thinking about it, because I was thinking about the Chipettes, and I was like, yes, that's amazing.
'Cause the
But then I
Chipettes
was
were a
thinking
crazy
about
group.
It, and I was thinking of it more as a movie scene than I was as a track on an album.
Absolutely.
So I'm like,
Which I think our number 2 and our number 3 pick did really well at.
and
Number
number
three.
3.
Oh, Trolls.
I don't know.
I
how
think
this
Trolls
got up
should be
this
higher. I think Trolls should be
Oh.
higher. I think Trolls should be higher.
Oh, I'm gonna be honest. Like,
Oh.
Better Place. That's all I got. It's a good. Like, it's good.
This is the DVD. I'm screaming. Look at
There's
the
another.
picture.
Yeah, there's another one. That's spoiler.
Yes.
But I think Trolls is fun.
I
don't know, I
really-
need to watch more of it. I've really only seen like what I've been forced to watch.
I've seen all of the Troll movies a couple of times, actually.
I'm sure you have.
I probably
Okay.
switched Trolls.
Now my
with
brother is 10
Chipmunks.
years younger than me. Don't do
That's just
that, Sarah. I just think that they have really good albums. JT did his Stuck Thistle on this track.
This is true.
Anna Kendrick-
I was bumping Better Place.
Anna Kendrick can sing, like point blank period. Like these are really good albums. There's a couple of really good remixes, and there's at least 5 original songs on each different album.
Trolls
I
is high
stand.
because Trolls employed my mother's Red Velvet, and I will always appreciate Red Velvet getting a check. So absolutely.
So dead.
Okay, number 2.
Number 2. Oh my goodness. Speak with me.
So
I-
you might be like, whoa, but you
It's
gotta
a lot of
remember
DreamWorks stuff in
Pharrell
here.
loves to put that work in.
Yeah, for real. do
Can
this
we
thing.
get any better than Pharrell?
I'm about to say.
I don't think we can. I got outvoted on this because as much as I love the number 1 pick, that's not my personal number 1 pick, even though it's
Yes, it is.
it's
I had to check,
certified.
forgot.
Number 1 is certified bangers.
Y'all
But
are gonna see number 1 and be like, what are you talking about?
here's I'm gonna caveat. I think Despicable Me is my personal number 1 because Despicable Me are original songs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's
that's
fair.
makes
that's
But,
really
like,
all I
when
have to say
think
about
of this
this.
movie, I'm
Makes
like, wow, the music was fire.
The music was
It
fine.
was used really well as a storytelling device. Like, yes,
Right, but-
this is all original music. Yes, this is all original music. It's all original music, but at the end of the day, I don't know, guys.
I also think
my bad.
just like Alvin and the Chipmunks, number 1, when I listen to that soundtrack straightforward, it reminds me of the specific scene. And I can listen to Trolls music and I can listen to Despicable Me music without feeling that exact way.
You feel that way about this movie?
Yes. Like when I hear that one song that I love oh so much, like that's one of my 70s jams. and you know exactly what it is,
You know what? Let's just
I
get rid of the
see that
mystery.
lady flying around in my head, and producer Jackie is dancing in the corner. Like,
You know what?
come
Let's
on.
just remove the mystery if you didn't guess it
Let's
now.
do it.
Shrek.
It's Shrek. Number one is Shrek.
It's kind of like
Shrek is hard to beat. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But again, I like when I hear "Holding Out for a Hero," whether it's the original version, whether it's the Glee version, I see the fairy godmother dancing around in my head. Like it's very scene specific to me.
it
And then
is.
you got the be, you know that song is a.
Right, but that's
Famous.
What
also
else?
not an original
Even
song.
okay, but All Star.
Not an original song.
But you know what it did though? It wasn't an original song. But we all think of Shrek when we hear these songs.
Absolutely.
feel
Just
like
like when we
that's
hear
like-
Linkin Park, we think of Transformers, but that doesn't make Linkin Park any better than them already being Hall of
I don't know.
Famers.
Listen, Despicable Me. I'm just like, I'd much rather put on the Shrek soundtrack.
Pharrell is going to end up in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well, yes.
Much
There's
rather.
nothing against Pharrell. I don't.
Right, but Despicable Me is going to help him get there, unfortunately.
Also,
The composers of Shrek are not going to make
what's
it.
crazy to me is when I watched Piece by Piece and I found out because
I haven't
it
watched it
never
yet.
clicked. You should, but it clicked in my head that he released Happy and All Right. He produced those that same year back
Yeah, that
to
was
back.
crazy.
Yeah.
back
That was crazy.
to
There was a
back.
couple years where
Piece by
Pharrell
Piece
was like
soundtrack
working
really,
really
good.
hard.
What y'all know about Virginia Boy, actually?
No, Pharrell is a genius. That's why I really don't like when they leave him out of like the Timberland Missy Elliott conversation, because I feel like that's his conversation.
It is.
That's his conversation. Why are you standing like that? Okay, we're gonna put the toy back in his box because obviously Ken has had too much exposure today, and when we come back, it'll just be the girls again, and we'll get into more movie soundtracks, the
Yeah.
iconic movie soundtracks.
The iconic movie soundtracks.
You're watching the review on CIU TV, and you should stay right here.
Next on the review.
Mama say, Mama say, Mama.
Okay, now just through
They
my
also thought
whole.
Albert Einstein was insane. So
Okay,
he was like, oh, and then in the back it's gonna be, I don't need to hear that.
one of the main things that I wanted to talk about before I took my leave from this university was music artists' creative directing albums for movies. Justin Timberlake creative directed Trolls. Pharrell did Despicable Me. Kendrick Lamar did Black Panther. Mariah Carey did Glitter. Prince did Purple Rain. And, you know, these are super, super iconic albums that really do just deserve a moment. Now, you're going to twist your mic. Okay. They just deserve some stage time. They deserve some flowers.
I'm ignoring the first thing he said, but yes, I agree. Purple Rain, that's an iconic album. I would say probably Prince's most iconic. Is that a crazy thing to say?
No, because I believe his greatest hits album is also named Purple Rain. Yeah.
I need to really listen and watch Glitter. Not gonna lie.
The fact that
I've
Glitter was
listened to it, but it's been a
created in the
while.
way that it was just so fascinating to me. I was like, Mariah Carey, you truly were that girl. I can't be mad at your halfway retirement. Someone online was like, you could tell that the girl can't sing anymore because she was really singing and then some in the day.
She still can sing. Can she sing exactly
Yeah.
where she was?
Like she's already hit too high. Like she's already past the ceiling. So now she's kind of at the ceiling and it's like, well, girl,
Yeah.
give us more. But like,
She's still she's
Yeah.
touching the ceiling.
like my all,
Wow.
I have to agree with you. I do love a good Yankee.
Oh.
But let's talk about the influence of some more popular movie soundtracks. The first one that comes to mind, truth be told, is The Lion King.
Of course. Yeah, because
Like,
the Lion
if you
King-
think about movie soundtracks, you hear it like
hear-
in
I
the
can hear the
you can
opening.
hear it in the back of your
I know
head.
exactly what the beginning of Lion King
Yes.
sounds like.
Which one of the things I really, really love about Lin-Manuel Miranda is like
Did the Lion King song come first, or did the Michael Jackson song come first?
what Michael Jackson song?
Mama say, Mama say, Mama say.
Okay, now
Was that not the Lion King? Did I make that up?
yes,
Oh,
yes you
I
did.
think I'm onto something. Personally. But anyways, yeah, I really like the Lion King. I need to rewatch it. It's been a minute. Y'all looking at me crazy, but
Just through
they
my
also thought
whole.
Albert Einstein was insane. So
Okay, well, But one of the things I really love is that when they went to Lin-Manuel Miranda and said, you're not getting Moana 2, but instead you're getting the Lion King reboot, he was like...
He took that serious.
He said, where is that man and where is the Asabontia? And he went and he got it and they redid it.
I still haven't seen Mufasa, actually.
It's on Disney Plus now.
Have you seen it?
No, actually.
Okay, so...
I would say we're going to save it for the next movie night, but by the time we get there, we're not watching it.
No. I do want to watch it, though, because I need to see the context of my brother. Like, I have to see what the context is because it sounds insane.
Because he needed a brother.
But, like, I need to see it in action. Because I think the lions are running.
Yes, they're running through the Sahara like Simba and Nala.
I need to see it.
Okay, well.
Besides the Lion King, we got to talk about Dreamgirls. We were trying not to talk about musicals, but it's really hard.
You gotta talk about Dreamgirls.
And if I talk about Dreamgirls, I'm also gonna talk about Grease. That's why I'm wearing this hot leather jacket.
We have got to talk about Dreamgirls. Okay, truth be told, love Loretta Devine down, love Shirley Roth down. Doing a Dreamgirls remake and casting Jennifer Hudson at her thickest and Beyonce at her lightest and her skinniest was the best thing that they could have done for the concept of Dreamgirls. And I
mean, you're not wrong.
I'm being so dead serious.
Jennifer Hudson need to actually put down those glasses that she likes to wear. She likes to put on some glasses and then ask someone. She loves to go, a little birdie told me that you have a movie coming out. Well, yes, that's why they're on the show. No, she needs to get back behind the mic. She needs to remember her roots.
Well, she was singing with Glorilla. And she was like, we're going to have to drop a song together. And I was like...
Who's listening to that? I'm not listening
I would.
to
I'm
that.
so sorry.
I mean, I would listen to it, and then I would listen to it, but I think immediately after I'd be like...
It would have to go in the rotation, and then it would have to be an automatic skip.
She's going to be like, oh, and then in the back it's going to be, I don't need to hear that. I don't need to hear that. I don't need to hear I'm from Memphis. I don't need to hear that.
I don't like, Yes, exactly.
No.
Precisely.
No.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But it did so much for the movie concept. Like, it didn't click for me that the whole point was to talk about Diana Ross and colorism until I was like, this is Beyonce. What is Beyonce doing here? And why is she finding... Like, it just didn't click until I was like...
No, it's an amazing movie. There's so many amazing songs. But if I'm going to talk about a musical, I'm going to bring up Grease. Because unlike Dreamgirls, it's a terrible story. It's a horrible story. The moral of the story is change everything about yourself for a man. Which is terrible.
Which is also funny because
all
regardless...
the songs from the beginning to the very end...
They're great.
...are amazing. And, oh my God, the name is escaping me. But the song that she sings when she goes... nothing behind.
Oh, Rizzo's song.
It's
Rizzo's.
It's not Rizzo.
It's not Rizzo.
Very much Sandy.
Sandra Dee.
Sandra Dee. No, not Sandra Dee. The song where she's like, hopelessly devoted.
Hopelessly devoted.
Hopelessly devoted.
Yes.
Was not in the original stage play. It was added to the movie, and
it was needed.
It's the
Olivia
only
Newton-John
song.
ate that down.
They didn't even have her because obviously, what's that man in Scientology's name now? John Travolta. John Travolta
Thank you, Cameraman
had
Christian.
Lots of songs by himself.
Yeah.
And there were no songs for
Of
Olivia
Sandy,
Newton-John. Yeah. And in her contract, she had it in her contract that she needed a song. So they added it. It's the last thing they filmed. And it's the only.
I actually can believe that.
It's the only part of the movie that got them the Oscar, because that's a great song. Hopelessly Devoted. I'm actually.
I don't know what else
was
was nominated with them to co-sign that comment. I kind of do need to know what else was nominated to co-sign that comment.
No, I'm saying like it's the only thing about Grease that got them.
Oh, probably.
Award.
Yes, probably. Speaking of hate, I hated that I did not think of this. Our director Gio says that one of his.
The crew is shouting themselves out a lot in this.
The crew is all up in these scripts these past 2 weeks because we definitely didn't record these on the same day.
Right.
Director Gio says that his favorite soundtrack happens to be The Muppets. The original. The Tio cut.
No, it was just like
Oh.
yelling. We could hear-
We can hear him through our studio wall.
I've only seen a couple of the Muppets, but like as a child, I have not.
Really?
No, I've seen like a lot.
I did a Muppet
I'm
binge
very,
last
I'm
month.
very familiar with Kermit the Frog. I just need to rewatch like from the beginning.
Now, Rainbow Connection. Every time I hear it, I cry.
Elmo is not a Muppet, right?
Elmo is a Muppet.
Okay, that's what I thought. Elmo's a Muppet. They're in the
Yes.
same universe. I don't think.
Well, it depends. Okay, brief lore. So Jim Henson is the creator of all of
I
them.
love
so
Jim Henson. Shout
they
out.
are in fact
too soon.
all Muppets. So the Muppets, the characters of Sesame Street, Fraggle Rock, and Dark
Fraggle
Crystal.
Rock.
They are, and the Squapplemals, but that's neither here nor there. They're all Muppets.
They're all Muppets.
But they exist in different universes.
There's the Sesame Street
When
universe.
Sesame Street started, Jim Henson was still alive and over the show. Like, he still had creative dictatorship over the show. So the Muppets and Sesame Street knew each other, but think of them as like distant cousins. Like, you are cousins, but like you're not really cousins because really you're my dad's like
Friends from
cousin's
college.
niece.
Oh.
And we happen to be the same age and we be at the same parties.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. That's how it is. Yeah.
I really want to watch. I really got to rewatch the Muppets.
I literally watched them all last month. Like, binge watch all the Christmas movies, all the regular movies,
Yes!
the Muppet
It
ABC
was
show, the
holiday
original
movies
Muppet
that
shows,
I definitely watched as a kid.
all of the
I
little
wanna watch it on
Muppets,
DVD, though.
Muppet
That feels
Babies.
authentic.
Well,
But yeah.
that's all we have for you today because producer Jackie doesn't want us to stay and talk to you guys. So let's give it up for the cast and crew. And let's give it up for our audience. Let's also give it up for our silly little Ken doll, Octavius, for joining us today.
But yes, that's all we have for you, and I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time on the review.